And welcome back. Promises kept and graphic back for the open. My name is Jay Cleveland Payne. This happens to be a little ditty we call Things You Might Have Heard. This is Tuesday, October 25th, 2022. So it's that edition. What you're going to get in the next few minutes, in few mere moments, I will give you in a little less than 20 minutes 8 news stories in the past 30 hours that were deemed conversational by you guys. We post news stories on our feeds. That's our social media feeds every 50 minutes. And the headlines you see, the ones that you engage in the most, get a chance to be talked about. Not probably grammatically correct, but it's what we're seeing this morning. So what do you get? So essentially, we go through about 30 hours worth of time, which gives us about 30 to 33 different stories. You guys tell us which stories are tops. We take the top 15 from the 30 or so stories we get in a day, and we choose 8 of those stories to present to you in this forum. Check out our main website with this is a conversationproject.com, and you can see more details about what we're doing, plus links for our feeds, links for sponsorships and partnership issues, because it shortens this thing down to a minute 20 as opposed to 3 in the intro. Let's get out of the intro, get into the news. Story number 1, no particular order of the stories. These are just some of the top stories that we had to talk about, 8 of them. Starting off with Leslie Jordan, Will and Grace and Call Me Cat actress, dies in car crash at age 67. This was a very kind of out of the ordinary, just kind of jump at you story, because the weirdest thing happened. There were a bunch of pictures of a bunch of the social media folks posting things with Leslie Jordan over the weekend at some event that was happening. It just so happened that a bunch of people were there, and I saw a Leslie Jordan thing. Hey, here's me and Leslie Jordan thing, and then this popped up, and I thought, wait, was this connected? No, Leslie Jordan was a victim of in a car crash yesterday afternoon. Many people, his co-stars from Will and Grace, co-stars from Call Me Cat, and the things he's done forever as essentially a well-known character actor and a gay acting icon, if you will. People coming out of all over the place to talk about their love and their sadness for Leslie Jordan. Thoughts go out to all of those who knew him, loved him, all those who, of course, worked with him. This is going to be there. That, and this the really kind of crazy thing is Call Me Cat is essentially growing as a show, and so he's a key figure in that series. I don't know if they finish taping for the entire season and how they'll address that. Obviously, you'll be addressed at some point in time. A key character in that show. Moving on to the next story, another death happening over the day of Monday. Billionaire Red Bull owner Dietrich Mateschitz, totally butchered that, who claimed to drink 10 cans of energy drink a day, died at the age of 78. We also had another death in the range, if you will, that happened. It was Barry Gordon's brother died as well. We only put these 2 in this there, so we sort of snuck that in there for Barry Gordon's brother. But it was your day of threes happened exactly on that Monday, where 3 fairly prominent people that got newsworthy attention and your attention happened in the same day. Let's move on to things not quite so deadly. Or maybe not. Rishi Sunak completes comeback, becomes Britain's first prime minister of color. Yay for Britain. Yay for Rishi. We'll see how this works out. Now, the big story on this one is the fact that this is the 3rd prime minister in 7 weeks. So it's like us having, it's like Nixon resigning, then Ford taking over, and Ford being like, yeah, I don't like this. Who's the next guy up? Huh? What, that Goldwater? Sure, give it to him, because it pretty much works just like that. Sunak was selected by his party to take over this job because the party still owns the slot. And so after a meeting with the King Charles, which happened in our cases today, but like hours ago, the day it starts, a good 12 hours where we get our day started. He is now in charge in the chair as the prime minister. It is his job to right the ship for economics, for just plain old, just leadership stuff, and to show a good face. Now, a lot of people are saying that he's a good face, not just a color thing. A lot of people are saying he's a good face because he spent some time in the administration before, actually, oddly enough, living above 10 Downing Street, an apartment there, because there's people live above the actual house where stuff gets done that are high in the administration. So we'll see how it happens. And since the clock on the last lady was only 6 weeks, we'll see what the beat the clock the challenge will be for Mr. Sunak. Congratulations and our condolences. McRib returns to McDonald's for the final time Question mark. Get it while you can. McRib is back, or should be back by the time the end of this day is here where you are, because it's already popped up in various markets coming soon. The press release is now that's out there. McRib is back for a limited time, as always. Should be out till the weekend before Thanksgiving. And the big thing is the way the marketing is going, they're saying maybe for the final time, possibly forever. This could be your last chance at a McRib. Not for the season, not for the year, but forever. Don't know what that means. Don't want to know what that means. I want McRibs all the time, all the time. I don't get them all the time, all the time. So I guess that means it's McRibs for lunch from now until the end of this limited engagement in November the 20th or so. We shall see a lot of barbecue sauce on these shirts from McRibs. Right-wing superhero film Rebel Run axed after losing $1 million. Someone funded a film, an independent film, if you will, that's based on a right-wing superhero name. Well, it doesn't matter what the name is. Movie's not going to be made because somebody ran away with a big chunk of the money. That's how things happen. When you don't have money to pay people, people stop working on stuff, no matter how well they believe in a cause. And I'm not sure how well they believe in this cause. I mean, I'm not sure why they're doing, Birth of a Nation in 2022, but they're doing it. This is something that we won't have to behold, won't have to point fingers at, won't have to kick around very often, because this movie isn't actually getting made because somebody ran away with some money. Maybe they will come up with some money someplace. Maybe Kanye West will donate some money. Who knows what he's going to do? We'll get to him in two places in a moment. Actually, no, we actually killed the Kanye West story that was in the range to put this one in here. So we'll get to him in a bit in one place later on. I forgot what it was. I think he was dropped from his record. He was dropped from his record label. That was the story we had here, but it gets better. Meanwhile, this movie is dead in the water. You can check the link, click the link, and see more issues about what was going on and why it was featuring a right-wing superhero for old white dudes, I guess. But because Hollywood runs on money, things run on money. There's no money. Maybe one of those rich white dudes will pay to get that finished. This is one I put up here more or less just because I was just so struck by the article and the headline and the picture and the whole premise that I had to do this. I really don't understand this. So do not bash me for not understanding this. Sam Smith and Kim Petras become first out non-binary and transgender soloist. Say that 3 times fast, to top the Hot 100. They have a new single out right now, and Sam Smith is non-binary. Kim Petras is transgender, and this is a thing. I'm not sure why this is a thing. I don't understand it. Please don't throw things at me. This headline hit, and it was like, oh, really? All right. I guess. And for the podcast audience, this makes no sense, since it's really kind of whatever. But check out the link, read the story, get deeper into the story, and we can chat this one up anywhere you want to, because this is a story that literally we put out there. You guys saw it conversational. You guys wanted to chat it up. I totally would have missed out on this in my typical day of looking for stuff. But you guys wanted it. You got some of it. Tesla shares fall after Elon Musk's firm cuts price of cars in China. Tesla's having quite a year in 2022. Elon Musk having quite a year in 2002. All sorts of craziness happening for the Musks. Not being the family, him and the girlfriends, the ex-wives, and all the kids, and his company, Tesla and SpaceX, and all the other stuff. The boring company, the one that just digs holes, things like that. Right now, Tesla's having an issue with its stock because the price of cars in China are going down, which means Tesla makes less money from those cars, which means Tesla's probably trying to offload some cars, which means Tesla's not doing so great for the people and the shareholders, which is what that basically means. We can follow the slot of Tesla. I'm not sure exactly where it is in its range of highs and lows. Tesla's not a stock I actually invest in because of the craziness of that market in electronic cars. But Elon Musk having more of a week with this thing now, having actually pretty much early of a week. Let's call it a month because it's only Tuesday and we're posting this from a Monday story. Beyond Meat is rolling out its steak substitute in grocery stores, going from fake cars to fake meat. Beyond Meat has Beyond Steak, or a steak substitute, not just ground beef, not just some weird turkey alternative. It's supposed to be your steak for your fajitas. How well does this work? I don't know. We've not had it yet. We'll probably give it a shot here or there. The good thing about those things like Beyond Meat and the crumbles of the Morningstar has their crumbles is it's fast, it's easy to work with. And if you season it properly, it ain't so bad. My daughter had a kick for a while where she was eating the Beyond Meat hot dogs, and she ate them for a while. And then one day it gets turned to the fact that literally they cost so much. It was a deal, and she was eating so many. We went back to the regular ones, and she's in fairly good health, so it's no big deal. We do other alternatives instead of hot dogs for the older, not so weller people. The crumbles for the beef and sausage, you put them into recipes, makes things much faster. When you don't have to take time to ground any beef, and things are already basically just heat for a moment and drop it in the pot. It works wonders for your spaghettis and your chilies. You just have to sometimes make sure people don't know that it's not real meat, because then they freak out when they know. If they don't know, they don't know. When they know, they think you're trying to poison them. Will this steak substitute work well for you and all your dishes? Give it a shot. Go ahead and try. I'm sure Beyond Meat could use a stock hype, so they would love you to go ahead and buy some of their stuff today. All right, so let's go into the Kanye thing. I said he'd be in. We had, like I said, we had the story in range for yesterday, where he was dropped. He was dropped by the record label. His label was dropped by the main label. We cut that for ahead of time just because it was just other things to do. In the markup to the actual teaser story, this popped up as breaking news. It was rumored that Adidas had to come to terms with Kanye West and his speech, because Kanye West, in an actual tape recording in front of people with the proof of it, basically said, "I can say anti-Semitic stuff, and Adidas can't fire me." And he repeated, "I can say anti-Semitic stuff, and Adidas can't drop me." He did it like that. He said it in a slow, just weird voice. Kanye's turning more and more into a supervillain like Skeletor every single day. So what happened? Adidas to end Kanye West partnership after controversies. We can talk this one up way big tomorrow if you want to. It's very simple. Engage in this story as it posts in your feed. It should be posting within the hour, maybe within about 20 minutes or so. Like it, love it, hate it, share it. Look at it on your Facebook feeds. Facebook is facebook.com/this is a conversation. And Twitter is th_conversation at twitter.com. Of course, the more engagement the story gets, the higher chance we get to talk about it. We will talk about 8 of the top 15 stories of the past day based on your engagement tomorrow. We'll see what happens in the Wednesday edition. And you put Ye, no longer with shoes, no longer with a record company, no longer with a whole bunch of stuff, into that conversation. One way to help us keep these conversations, that's not what we want to do. I don't know what that was about. I want to do that one and do this one, because Grammarly, although the words I speak may not be so grammatically correct, the words I've written down for the most part have been pretty well. And that's because I use Grammarly in everything. It integrates into all of my stuffs. I have a new PC at my job yesterday. I spent the morning putting it together, putting it up, setting up monitors and getting things going, then trying to get things back to work, then realized that all my emails, all my correspondence, all my stuff was just really poorly written, and then realized, my Grammarly integration is not in this new PC. I've been living and dying by Grammarly for forever, since it basically came out as one of the leaders in online grammar checking softwares. You should check it out as well. You may think, hey, this thing is kind of expensive. And then you may think, I can't live without this. I love it. I'll pay double for it if they offer it. They might offer it. You shouldn't pay double for it, but pay what it's worth. Go to thisisaconversationproject.com/Grammarly. This is a conversationproject.com/Grammarly. That's Grammarly. So you can get a chance to check out this full package of the full software. Now, this is an affiliate link, so we get a cut back from your subscription, and it helps us with our subscription because it is a bit of a cost. But once you find out how much you love it, and you shall love it, you will find you can never, ever, 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 ever live without it again. So let's talk about us, or me. thisisconversationproject.com is my website for this project. There are some people that do some bits and pieces, and we're looking to hire some help to help do some more expansive stuff and get more research things down in the upcoming year. But the main website for This Is Conversation is thisistheconversationproject.com, or the conversation project is thisistheconversationproject.com. We shifted the name slightly because we thought it sounded cooler and more professional. We are growing up in this thing. You can find out details about how you can see more sponsors to keep things going here. You can find links to our YouTube page, to our Facebook page, to our TikTok page, to our Twitter feed. You can find links to more sponsorship and partnership opportunities. You can find links to other projects we have around the Conversation Project, including revamping the weekly wrap up, which is a big time sunk, but we're gonna get into it and see how that works out well. Check it out at thisistheconversationproject.com, plus other stuff going on. Let's celebrate the day, shall we? Today things for today on October 25th, starting off with the birthday for Tracy Nelson, 59 years old, who is a fine actress in her own right. But why is she really bringing her up when there are other people to bring up today? She's a bigger sister, older sister of Matthew and Gunnar Nelson of Nelson. Let's be honest. She's Nelson's older sister. That's why she's here. Craig Robinson on the scene here as well as 51. Katy Perry turning 38 today. A lot of people, including I want to bust out with Marion Ross, of course, Mrs. Cunningham from Happy Days, who is turning 81 today. And she was top notch on the list. And then a whole bunch of folks came in, and then it's like, well, Mrs. C gets cut, but Tracy Nelson, she doesn't get cut. Oh, by the way, 2 months until Christmas. 2 months until Christmas. Pause for effect. Pause for effect. Pause for effect. I have to say that because this is a podcast as well, so you not know why there's dead air. There's dead air. So there you go. Pause for effect. 2 months until Christmas. So if you are late getting that Christmas gift, you have really no excuse to do that. That is me, my wife, our family, are already gathering our stuff for our kid and all the people that we know and love and going to give gifts to. Although a lot of that is basically a big stack of cash and some gift cards. So 2 months until Christmas. One more time for all those in the back. 2 months until Christmas. Celebrate it by going to Amazon and buying some stuff. Any holiday that combines candy and funny looking pumpkins can't be all bad, right? My reading can be, but that isn't. Turns out it can be a little dangerous. To reduce the risk of serious injury while carving jack-o'-lanterns, a study suggests people may be better off avoiding knives and getting specially designed pumpkin cutters. Although they are not foolproof, the research found that some of the carvers appear less likely to cause injury. There's no data on how many people are injured each year while carving pumpkins. There's no data, but we used to work when I was producing morning radio show. We had a doctor on every week to kind of talk about things that happened. And there are things that were always traditional, such as mosquito bites, firecrackers, and people blowing their hands off, and pumpkin carving things. These issues are things, he was an ER doctor. These are things that send you to the ER pretty frequently, people carving pumpkins. And before there were the special carvers, which had safety gizmos on them, there were a lot more people with stab wounds and large gashes of blood because of carving pumpkins. Please be careful carving your pumpkins. Please be careful carving your pumpkins. And remember, it is also 2 months until Christmas. But please be careful when carving your pumpkins, and don't be a statistic, even though technically there are no stats for this happening. Don't be a silent statistic. I don't know where that came from, but I do know that we are done. So let's wrap it up. Tuesday, October 25th, 2022 edition of Things You Might Not Have Heard. Thank you so much for being a part of us for this show, whether you're watching it live, tuning in on a replay video, or checking out the podcast, the audio version, all the audio only version of it. I'm so glad you're here and we had this time together. Thank you for helping us out by voting up the stories and engagement, giving us around here something to do with this thing. Check out our website, check out our feeds, be a part of the program. Make sure you are staying hydrated, staying limber, and staying on task, because the task part, the real important part, the task is the thing that you are here destined to do. So make sure you stay focused. And while you're doing that, make sure you're doing all your best to be healthy in the process. I'm going to go get ready for a big day at work. There's severe storms expected in the south and southeast, so it's raining pretty heavy. It was before I started this program. It's going to make it really hard to move furniture across the field today at work today, which must be done today because they need it for tomorrow. In the meantime, hopefully your day will be less soggy than mine, but less sucky than mine as well. Let's do this again tomorrow, shall we?